welcome.
Welcome to Spirituality Live. I'm your host, Greg Campese, and co-host here,
Hi, Sam Haynes. How are you?
and our awesome guest for today, Trevor Yaglinski.
Yep.
That's
You
good.
said it right.
Right. Look at
Thanks for
that.
having me, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Happy to have you.
Awesome. So for today's show, we were going to talk about raising your vibration, and we're going to hit what we consider kind of the big top five ways to raise your vibe, and we're going to even throw in a couple bonus tips for you. So thanks for joining us. We stream to Facebook. We're streaming to my Facebook page and to Sam's Facebook page, and Trevor is actually streaming to his Instagram. And we will post this. Well, Facebook replays it, but we're also going to repost it on the Awaken YouTube channel. So feel free to subscribe to youtube.com/awakence, and you'll get notified of all of our live streams that we have going on. And I also post some meditations up there and some tips and all that kind of fun stuff.
Kathy and Jury has joined us, and she says, hey, Kathy.
Awesome.
How are you? Thanks
Awesome.
for joining us today.
So, Trevor,
What's going on?
welcome, buddy.
Glad to be here,
Welcome,
man. It's
buddy.
awesome.
I met Trevor a couple months ago. We connected. Well, we connected a little longer than that on like Facebook or
Online,
something. We
yeah,
finally
a
got
little bit.
together, and I just love this guy. I love his energy. I love his attitude and all that kind of stuff. So let's talk about. And this the reason. We always just pick topics to have a conversation about with the three of us. And our guest. I picked the guest kind of based around the topic. And the reason we're going with the Raise Your Vibe topic. We know a lot of people that can talk about that, but I wanted to bring Trevor on to talk about it because he went through his own little personal awakening, and this is a lot of, what he brought into his life and embodied to get to where he is and to get through whatever you were going through. So you want to talk a little bit about, like where you were and what happened and what you did, to help get yourself out of that?
Yeah, absolutely. Really, it was just a lot of unhealthy habits. I was finishing up college about 2 years ago, and I had a lot of things come up. Like I had a lot of anxiety, and just feeling just low energy, feeling pretty shitty. What was that?
Sorry.
All good?
There was something in the way. It was blocking the
Okay.
camera.
But yeah, no, man, just really, at school I had a lot of bad habits as far as like my diet was pretty horrible. A lot of dairy, a lot of meats, a lot of, frozen processed foods, GMO.
We've been there.
I drank a lot of tap water, just a lot of things were not so great in my life as far as my lifestyle goes. And the big thing was like my gut, my microbiome was very just a mess, man, and it affects you a lot. Your mind, your gut, it's all connected. So yeah, I basically finished up school, and I had a couple things flare up while I was in school my last year, senior year, about 2 years ago, and I came home and I really just looked into like my diet, what I was doing as far as like consuming. Obviously at school alcohol was not so great for me, so that kind of played a role.
Yeah, thanks for
But yeah,
Right.
but yeah, and then I kind of came back from school. I learned meditation. I learned about like holistic health. Started eating more organic foods, high vibe foods, fruits, vegetables, foods from the earth. Really, I'm all about like just real food, But yeah, I learned meditation, shortly after that point, about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and ever since then, I've been feeling a lot better as far as my mindset, my energy levels and stuff, and just feeling really good. So yeah,
Awesome.
I'm on a mission now to help people kind of get where I'm at now, just help people with the mindset and with the health and everything. So
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that's what I love about Trevor. He connected with, really wanted to get his message out there, help other people on their awakening, and just coaching. And you're now with.
Yeah, so right now I'm with a company or organization called True Living. So I'm a True Living facilitator. It's really cool. What we do is we basically help people like design their lifestyle to maximize freedom. So freedom as far as like time, money, health, relationships. So it's really cool. It's kind of like it's really lifestyle design. We have a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business owners that we work with, and it's really really fun work. I'm really enjoying it these last few months. So
Awesome. Yeah. So there's a lot of people out there that are awakening, that are embracing a spiritual life and a big change, and there's also a lot of people out there helping. Which is why I run Awaken. It's why Sam and his partner Wendy do what they do with healing work, distance, and groups and all
coaching.
that kind of stuff.
It's getting that balance in place that we can then thrive from.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So there's so many people to help you, and that's why. So for today, we wanted to talk about the tips that we got for you. So we're gonna run down our big five and expand on them a little bit. And these are no particular order because they're really all very important. It's not just do one and not another, or not that one's more important than the others. You really want to try to incorporate all of these to some extent. And when you're on a I'm trying to get away from saying the word path. When you're making a lifestyle change and really embracing spiritual life, and really just wanting to embrace a more mindful life. Because not spiritual, sometimes people get a little scared. You say spiritual, like what does that mean? Like praying every day or meditating 5 hours a day or whatever. So it's really just about a more mindful, conscious way of living. That's a good word. It doesn't scare people. Just being more conscious and being more mindful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So number one on our list is start a spiritual practice or practices, and this can be a variety of things. Meditation being a big one, right? And because for you, Trevor, you didn't meditate before, right? I didn't meditate before I got onto my spiritual awakening.
Yeah, I didn't learn how to meditate until I think it was like early June of 2018. And I've done it every single day since then. Some days longer. I try to do at least. I aim for about 10 minutes a day. Try to aim for 10 minutes. Some days it's like less than that. Some it's more. But yeah, I think a mindfulness practice is just huge. And there are other ways to do it besides meditating. You can do there's a lot of ways. You can do yoga, like Tai Chi, all these different ways. You can do it,
Yes.
while you're walking around in nature. There's so many different ways. So.
Oh, we got a little technical problem over here. What's up with that?
What about you guys? Do you guys have a daily practice, or?
I do. I'm not as disciplined as to do it daily, though. It incorporated in a more intrinsic part of my life now, whereas years ago I didn't have any practice at all, and my head wasn't balanced and centered. Now I get up. It's right here without much effort, and then days where I feel burdened with thought or worries or a big challenge that I am facing, that's when I go deeper into, well, let's make a concerted effort to focus on my tools because I need them right now.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to be more like that. During
Awesome.
a pressure time, I go more to my tools. When I'm just flowing through and I'm maintaining, I feel like that foundation's there for me.
Yeah,
Very cool.
Well, I do want to touch on that because I think that's a big thing with people is, and it's anything's better than nothing, right? So
Sure.
it's good to have some tools to use, and just to list a couple. I mean, we're talking about meditation, but affirmations are huge.
Yeah.
Just creating a positive mindset. Everything is the mind. That really is where it all comes down to. So it's creating a positive mindset. Being positive about things, learning to manifest things in your life. Positive affirmations are great, and it's great to find a time to practice just to get into the habit. Some people do affirmations and little prayers in the car while they're driving to work.
Right.
Me, most of the days I'm working from home, so I started using my shower time while I'm in the shower. I use that as a way to throw in some positive affirmations for my day. And I'm trying to just get in, and even though I've been doing this for over 10 years now, it's still, we're so ingrained in the life and the energy that we grew up in. It can be a challenge to make the shift to living a spiritual life where it's just embodied in everything you do. I mean, that's where we all want to get to. But it's easy to slip back, especially if you're having a day that's a little bit challenging with work, or if you're dealing with some challenging people or family situations or whatever. It's very easy to slip back and regress into that negative mindset and that victim kind of mindset. So, we're going to give you some tools that you can work with and use. It's what we really want to do is get to the point where we're using these tools every day, and it's not about using them when the shit hits the fan. It's a great time to pull them out, but really it's proactive. Even medicine, right? All the medicine out there is you get sick, then you go get some medicine. We want, and this is part of all these tips, is about creating a healthy life, mind, body, spirit, instead of having to run to your toolkit after things fall apart. It's about being proactive and learning to embrace a new way of living so that you're always in a good space and in a high vibe.
Yeah.
Right?
So, Trevor, what were some challenges for you that you could talk about as you started out on a spiritual practice in the early days before it was automatic,
Before it was easy.
or before it changed the landscape of your life, because of course making a change in one place changes our diet, changes our sleep, changes our friendship patterns, changes
Mhm.
our thinking patterns. You make one change, it ripples out. So before all that rippling happened, what were some challenges that you faced that people might be facing, and how did you get over those?
I think when you first begin to meditate, I mean, it's definitely not easy, like to calm your mind down, right?
No.
I think one of the things people fall into is like, this is what happened to me, was like I was trying to like control my thoughts, like trying to be like, okay, that thought shouldn't be there, like no, that
Right.
thought shouldn't be there, but really it's
Right.
like you really just want to observe, like just observe everything, like just kind of watch all of them go by your head.
It's a great.
Yeah.
When I heard that kind of changed everything for me, because it took me a few weeks to get it down. You know, it was definitely frustrating. I was just like laying in bed, like this is not working. Like what's going on? I don't feel good. But
Yeah,
you stick with it and you get better for
I would
sure.
call that myself. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's
That's a
a
good
huge
tip,
thing
I
when
think.
it comes to, especially something like meditating. If you haven't meditated, when I first started meditating, like, you know, I had never done it before, and my mind is always going. And for me, like 5 minutes seemed like torture. You know, when I first started, it really was. It was like, how long? You know, I'm
Yeah,
like
it was a long time.
checking the time. How long have I been made before? Like it's like 4 minutes
seconds.
later. Right? So for me, it really, you know, that very beginning of learning to meditate for me was a little bit of a challenge, especially on my own. Group meditation, I feel group meditation's a great thing because it's a group energy, and you have someone holding that space. We do a meditation here, second Wednesday and fourth Wednesday. We got so much going on. We do meditation at the center twice a month, a group meditation that I lead in there. They're awesome visuals. I actually call it a journey. So when you're learning to meditate, if there's some place you can go where you can join a group, it's a great way to get into it because that energy and that space is being held for you. Another good thing to do is on YouTube. There's tons of great meditations out there on YouTube that are free. Guided meditations, you know, and again, if you're beginning, sometimes guided meditation is better because, you know, it gives you something to visualize and keeps your mind a little busy. Mantra meditation is another thing. And mantra meditation, I mean, you can be repeating a Sanskrit mantra or you can make up your own mantra. And it can just be as simple as I am healthy or I am present or whatever you want it to be. Just create a simple mantra that you can just repeat in your head. And, you know, while you're meditating, if you lose it, if you drift off, it's fine. You just come back to it.
Yeah.
And one of the simplest things to do if you're just starting to meditate is just breathe. I mean, it really is that simple. Just
Yeah.
Right.
because presence is really
focus on it. Focus on it. Yeah.
focus on your breathing. Just deep breath in, deep breath out. And again, it's not about the time. I mean, if you can only meditate for 5 minutes when you start, perfect. Like that's all you need. And a lot of us too think like, okay, I need to meditate today. I need like at least a half hour, an hour, or something like that.
Yeah.
Taking even 60 seconds throughout your day here and there to just breathe, recenter yourself, close your eyes, like even that's a meditation,
Yeah,
so we don't need to put stigmatisms on what meditation is and what it's supposed to look like. It's about what works for you, and it's starting the practice and keeping with the practice. I mean, now for me, if I do, especially in the groups, like a half hour meditation, and I'm like, oh, we're done already. Like I want to do the full hour. I want to keep going. So it's just it's a practice, and that's why we're talking about our number one tip, spiritual practice, and it is about practice.
Yeah.
Like for you, Trevor, like what did you get into, like affirmations and things like that? And
Oh,
positive
yeah.
mindset too.
Yeah, I'm really into like law of attraction, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm all about that stuff. Can I get one little tip also?
Yeah,
I want to say, I think having a candle, like a candle flame, and kind of like staring at that,
Yep.
helps to kind of keep your mind like centered. I think that helped me a lot when I first started doing it. Just having a candle flame there.
That's
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's another perfect tip, because you think of meditation, it's like, okay, my eyes have to be closed, I have to be in my specific position, all that kind of stuff. You don't have to be in any specific position. Your legs don't have to be crossed. You can be in a regular chair. You can lie down. It's whatever works for you. And that's a perfect tip too. The candle meditation is a great way to just, and it doesn't even have to. Candle's just a fun kind of thing to do, and it's moving, and you can get lost in the flame, But you could even just stare at like an image that you like, and just get lost in that. Walking meditation, going out in nature, just going on a trail like that. It's about being in a meditative space, So it doesn't even have to be like sit down, silent, quiet, all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
See what works for you. So meditation, affirmations, any other spiritual
Like
practices
like
that you recommend?
visualization. It's kind of like the same, kind of similar, but yeah.
Right, that's a little bit of a different process.
So, I mean, the key is you want to try and like change your subconscious mind, right? Because that's kind of what controls everything. So yeah, affirmations are great. They're really good for the morning and at night too. Around the bedtimes are like the most powerful times I've found, at least, to influence it more. But yeah, we can go on for a whole hour about this kind of stuff.
Right,
about this one area.
Yeah. So yeah, if you have any specific questions or anything, around meditation, hit us up now or later. We're happy to delve into it more.
I'm keeping an eye on the screen here, so if you see me looking over this way,
Yeah.
I'm checking in with our question feed, so please come in.
So let's go to tip number 2 for raising your vibration: diet and exercise.
Yum.
So
It's a good
food
one.
is a big thing, right? And Trevor, touched on this earlier, because you were saying you were really feeling it, and when your body's off, your whole energy field is off. If you don't have a healthy body, forget it. I'm just getting over a cold, and when you get really hit with something, I mean, it wipes you out.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
And you got to get, and again, like even with my cold, like I was trying to be in that mindset, like I was like, oh, I got to be healthy. Like I'm talking to my body, like, all right, body, like I had enough. Like cells, you're healthy, you're vibrating in balance and in harmony. And it's important. It's important you can talk to your body. You can talk to anything, because it's all consciousness. So you were going through, this was like in college, right? You were having all these issues, right? So talk a little bit about that, and then the type of diet that you changed to.
I mean, the biggest thing I learned with diet is probably just like alkaline versus acidic.
Yeah.
I think that's a big one.
So explain that for people that aren't aware.
Yeah, so basically, acidic is not good, not so great, because it kind of reduces your oxygen levels. So alkaline promotes oxygen, and your acidic foods are like a lot of your heavy meats, your dairy, sugars, yeah, all that stuff, chemicals and stuff. So for instance, like at school, I was going through a gallon of milk like every week, less than a week. And I was like, oh, I want to get muscle.
Right.
I drink milk.
Right. Make your bones strong.
Yeah, I was just following what everyone was doing. And then just I had a lot of like processed meats every morning, like sausage and pork roll, and which is all good in moderation, right?
Right.
But just every single day, it's not so great.
Right.
So
I also tend to go towards inflammation as well. A lot of the acids will actually bloat the body, make you hold water because you're inflamed.
Yeah.
Crystals will form in your blood, in your soft tissues, which will then cause more damage throughout the whole system.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
So this is obviously been around, but I feel like it's finally becoming a little bit more commonplace, like people learning about acidic versus alkaline, and there's like alkaline water is becoming a big thing now. Like you're starting to see some people selling it in the supermarkets and stuff, and Wawas and all that. Like if you see alkaline water, it's very good for you. It's very healthy. What are some alkaline foods then, right? Like to shift that, like lemon juice, right? It's supposed to be really
I mean,
good.
it's really I kind of think of just like earthy foods. Like obviously you have fruit, you have vegetables, you have like nuts, seeds, that kind of stuff.
Right.
You have like superfoods, like stuff like spirulina, chlorella. I love all that stuff. So it's just very a lot of the best stuff is just like it's green. Like it has that green color to it. It's oxygen promoting. And all that.
They call it the bitters. Get your bitters.
So
Yeah.
So I know this is a shocker to everyone, but if you actually want to have a healthy body, eat natural foods from the earth. The earth knows what she's doing.
Yeah, how about it?
The earth knows what she's doing. Imagine that. It's the humans that went and effed everything up, and because they're trying to preserve everything and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Our friend Simona grew up in Italy, and she talked about how everything in Europe and in Italy was so fresh, and she came here and you can just taste the difference. I have another friend from England who talks about even just like chocolate. He's like, the chocolate here is like crap, and they put wax in it and all kinds of crazy stuff because it's about shelf life in America. Whereas overseas it's more about freshness. They're still trying to hold on to that. And that's why it's hugely important. So like organic foods,
I was gonna say it's just now organic. Yeah,
that's a big thing. You want to raise the vibration of your body and your cells. Organic foods and natural foods. I mean, that's the big thing, And for some people, it is an issue of cost, because your fresh fruits and vegetables do add up.
They do.
And your organic do add up, but so do doctor bills and medications.
Yeah, right.
My mom, I don't even know how many pills she takes a day. It's crazy.
Right. It's a good point. You can pay for it now in good diet and have quality of life, or you can pay for it in your later years when you've done so much abuse to your body that you're paying for all these doctor bills just to make up for all the damage that we did earlier. We don't feel the damage when we're young.
Right.
It's when we start getting older that all of that bill becomes due. So we're going to pay for it eventually. Do you want to have quality, or do you want to have
Yeah. Yeah, and juicing and smoothies is a great way to get fruits and veggies into your body directly. And I feel when I used to juice more. I don't juice as much just because of the time it takes to clean up and all that kind of stuff. But when I have a fresh juice, I mean, I feel it as soon as I drink it.
Yeah.
Like I just feel my body thanking me.
Yeah, carrots and
For-
ginger somehow
Yeah.
just wake me up. Like I.
That's a good one.
I just did a 10-mile run and I'm like energized. My brain is awake. The brain
Awesome.
fog is gone.
Awesome.
It's amazing what just juicing carrots and ginger will do. And
Yeah.
beets are very good.
Yes, beets. Yeah, beets are really good.
Yeah.
We usually do like carrot, celery, cucumber, just because they're easy. I always throw an apple in there too to sweeten it up a little bit, and the ginger's great for you, and that spice gets you going, you know.
Yeah.
And then exercise. I mean, again, this isn't anything new. I've just been telling people. Done a time, exercise, move your body,
Right.
and especially in this day and age, because like so many of us are just sitting in front of a computer,
Right.
Yeah.
and that's our life. Is just
Computer and
staring
cars.
at a screen.
You spend probably 16 hours a day sitting.
Yeah. So exercise, and it doesn't have to be some vigorous routine. Exercise can just be getting outside for a walk, 20 minutes a day.
Right.
What were you doing, Trevor?
I mean, like I've always loved like sports and stuff. I played ice hockey my whole life.
Nice.
So when I stopped playing hockey, I kind of had to like get more into the gym. I like to lift weights. Play basketball. Everyone's different though, like you said. So everyone has their own little flavor of working out. So do whatever you love.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah,
I ran for 10 years, 13 years, all through grade school and college. And it was fantastic.
nice.
And rock climbing, my body responds well to climbing. So it's also learning what works for you.
Right.
Just because I run and it works for me, it might not work for you.
Right, what works for your body? Yeah,
And
and
biking doesn't work for me. It hits that nerve and I go numb. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So climbing and running, my body responds well to. And so as long as I honor the limits of my body,
right.
I'm good.
Yeah. So that's important. Yeah, and it's going to change with age as well. I used to
Absolutely.
run a lot more. Part of it's time. Part of it's also like weather. Like just I don't feel like running outside when it's 30 degrees.
Yeah.
So I've gotten much more into yoga, and I got to tell you, and again, that's the internet and YouTube, such a great resource.
Yeah.
YouTube has so much stuff.
So much.
I will just pull up YouTube and even just a 10-minute yoga in the morning. Because again, like 'cause sometimes it's like, okay, I don't have certainly don't have a full hour. Maybe I can do a half hour, But even those days where I'm really pressed for time, you can always squeeze in 10 minutes for something, So like I just pull up just 10 minutes of yoga just makes such a big difference, to my body. Like it's huge. It's huge. So go ahead.
Kathy shares in her language, old age eats the youth, right? What we do in our youth shows up in our old age. She was sharing that perspective.
Comes
It's a nice
back
way
to
of
you.
putting It It
Comes
does.
back, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Kathy.
One more thing with the diet too is I would just say water. You don't want to. You don't want to be on the tap water like I was.
Right.
That's what I would say.
Get off the tap.
Try to
actually
get the
drink-
filter.
Distilled water. Distilled water is removed of its minerals and all the things that we need our body to be relieved of, right? Of all these sediments in our body. Distilled water is actually like empty. It's ready to soak up toxins and things that our body's ready to purge and get rid of. Whereas lots of tap water has all those chlorines, all the salts added into
Fluoride.
it. And if you have too many minerals, again, that goes back to it fills up the soft tissues in the bloodstream. So distilled water, we started doing that, Wendy and I, about a year and a half ago. And after about 2 or 3 months of doing that, there's a noticeable lightness to my brain fog. Something cleared, and I just had more energy, more responsiveness, and my thoughts were clearer. Little shady things, like not shady in terms of dubious, like shady, like the edge, little fringe things that you might not notice, but once you live with it for a while, you realize that really has made a big change. It's
Nice.
89 cents a gallon. It's doable for us. We go through 10 gallons a week, just about. It fits for us.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
When I was in New York City, I was drinking distilled water too. I would
God.
I would literally lug around like gallon. I would go to like the church, just grab like 5 gallons, just walk home. It was like a 5-10 minute walk, but yeah,
Right.
yeah. I had to make do. In the city.
Yeah. Awesome. So all right. So that's tip 2, diet and exercise. Tip number 3, high vibe tribe. Right. It's all.
Yeah.
It's so important. The people that you are choosing to surround yourself with. You want to talk a little bit about that, Trev?
Yeah, this is a big one. What's that quote? It's like you're the average of the 5 people you're around the most, something like that. I think it's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I mean, because just
That fits.
if you just think about like who you're around, you kind of will eventually kind of act like them. You kind of are all kind of all connected. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Well, that
think-
happens. Well, I'm going to interrupt real quick
Go ahead.
because you see it the most in your relationship with your partner. If you have a partner, or spouse, or whatever, because you spend so much time with that person, like it's the the old age, like, oh, we finish each other's sentences. But that actually happens because you literally sync up with
Synced
each
up, yep,
other
yep.
energetically, mentally, emotionally.
For
when
better
you
or
spend
worse, you do.
right, and the same thing happens with your kids if you have kids. When whoever you're around the most, you sync up and you also trigger each other too.
Yeah.
So it's also important, and this goes into having the right mindset. Really, and that's another whole thing we can talk about. But your closest relationships, getting into the mindset of when you're triggered, working through those in a positive way rather than allowing yourself to constantly react
Right.
to those triggers. But going back,
And that,
so sorry, I
that's
just
a
wanted to.
whole practice within
Yeah,
itself.
yeah. But I just wanted to point out, like, that idea that, like, when you have the right partner and you really vibe, like, you understand how important it is to vibe with that person. The same thing is true with your tribe. The people that you're closest to, your friends. Are they bringing you down, or are they lifting you up and encouraging you and supporting you?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
also
what's-
offering challenges when we're being knuckleheads.
Right.
It's not always about being validated and supported. One of the things I value so much about my friends is that they'll speak their minds whether they think I'm going to like what they have to say or not, and that is such a huge asset.
They're real to you, yeah.
They're honesty. They're responsible. They're just an integral part of me growing. I couldn't reach my little growth points without people, kind of corralling me towards myself. It's been
Yeah.
very helpful.
Yeah. What was also your experience like? Because this was all happening, like, you were going through the shift, like right in college and coming out of college, and it's like, so it's like, you're right in that partying kind of phase,
Yeah.
and then trying to shift into this spiritual life, coming out of that. So how did that look like as far as, like, the relationships and stuff that you had with people and friends and all that?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because I think a lot of your goals change, your values change. What you value in life,
Yeah.
and certain people are just not going to be on the same wave, like same wave as you.
Right.
People are going to kind of fall off the bandwagon, off the bus, and
And other people
I think
they don't understand.
But yeah, the thing is,
necessarily.
you got to make room for the new people. So that's what I would say. If you're going through an awakening, if you're lonely, you're feeling a little bit isolated. It's part of the process. What I've experienced, like, people are gonna kind of fall away, but then you'll make room for the new ones.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'll all work out.
You always want to be true to yourself. Like, decide what's important to you, how you want to live your life, and what it kind of happens in two ways from what I've seen is you can consciously choose to stop spending time around certain people that may not be supporting your new life path. And some of them will just naturally start to drop away, and
Yeah.
and new people will show up. Whatever vibe you are putting out is what's attracted to you. It's like a magnet.
Yeah.
So as you raise your vibration, as you change your mindset, the entire universe is going to rearrange and send you what matches your new vibration. And it goes the opposite way too, because if you're someone who is in, like, more of a victim mindset and depressed a lot and feel like the world's against you, you're just going to keep getting more of that until you make the change.
Yeah.
That's the biggest tip out of all of
That's
this.
well said. That's well said.
Yeah.
There, yeah.
Very well
You
said.
need to consciously make the change, and for some people it happened overnight. There's been people that have awakenings overnight and just understand that they need to make a complete change and they're living, like, their new life fully.
Yeah.
But for most of us, it's a very gradual change. You're making this new decision.
Yeah.
You're living your life, and you may not just jump to eating organic meals every single day all the time. But baby steps with
Yeah.
everything. Baby steps. Start holding that positive mindset. Start eating better. Start some kind of practice, and start paying attention to the people you hang around with the most. Pick up some awesome friends like these guys. Come to the Awaken Center. I mean, that's also why I do it. That's also why I put the center together, so people can meet other like-minded people on their level, on their vibration.
Yeah.
So High Vibe Tribe. That's number 3.
I want to hit one
Go ahead.
more
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, kind of what Sam was saying. I think you kind of talk about like a mastermind you have, right? I think having, like, that group to
Right.
go to, like, for, like, your career, for
yeah.
business ideas. I think that's just powerful to have. Like you said, like, to get, like, authentic feedback from your friends. It means
yeah.
a lot. It really helps
Yeah.
a lot. So I think that's kind of what we have at True Living, is just we have a community of people who are just they want to help you all succeed. Like, everyone's in it together.
Yeah.
I think that's really powerful to have.
We're all very clever, inspired people, and we all have blind spots. And our
Oh, yeah.
friends help us see those blind spots with more clarity.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And sometimes you need to actually pay for it. Really, I mean,
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
it is if you don't pay for it, you're gonna pay for it. But it's it's very easy to hold the mindset and attract new people that are gonna support you. But there is a huge there is a huge advantage to actually working with a coach, whether it's a spiritual coach or a business coach or a life coach or whatever. But it does help, and we offer some free coaching here, but there's plenty like Sam and Wendy do coaching, Trevor does coaching. And they're all on different levels, so it's about finding what works for you.
Yeah.
But that is a huge part about making the shift. Is High Vibe Tribe is your friends that you're consciously choosing to work with, but you might take it to the next level and consciously choose to hire someone to work with to help you hold that vibration and hold that mindset.
Now, what? Oh, you want to go ahead?
Well, I was going to ask you, what would you say are some pros about working with a coach? Why would someone give away money just to make some growth steps?
I mean, I think the accountability is. I mean, there's so many different aspects of it. But I think having someone to kind of hold you accountable to like your goals and stuff, make you help you take action.
Accountability.
Even define the goals. Just
Yeah.
define what they are.
Yeah, define the goals, have a clear outcome, like a measurable goal is I think important.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wanted to hit on like I think a lot of people when they first go through an awakening they're pretty lonely and stuff. But I want to share like I've met a lot of people online from like all across the world. Like I have a friend in Australia. I got people in the UK, people like across the country. Like it's pretty awesome. So if you are like feeling lonely, if you don't have your tribe just yet, like just go online and just you'll find people on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Like you'll find people out there that resonate with you.
Yeah.
So
Or meetup's a great way.
Meetups, yeah.
There's spiritual meetups popping around left and right, so it's a great way to find people in your area that you can physically meet up with as well.
Yeah.
So they are out there. So High Vibe Tribe.
All right.
Kathy adds, we also raise the vibrations of others, right?
Yes.
It's
There
not
you
just
go.
about them raising us up. We also, when we show up, I'll make it an I statement. I find when I show up, I bring something that would be missing if I hadn't shown up. And in doing that, I get to see that and partake in that, so I'm blessed. But really, when we show up and bless each other, we are also a key part in helping to lift up others. Thank you,
Yes.
Kathy.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Yes.
Yeah, when you have that group, it kind of helps to increase like the intention behind that. Like it helps to kind of it's almost like a group mind is formed.
Yeah.
Where it's like
Yes.
more powerful when you all unite. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's the old oxygen mask, saying like you gotta give yourself the oxygen first. So
Yeah.
you want to make your life better, raise your vibration, and you will be helping everyone else that you come in contact with.
Yeah.
Everyone,
Including
on some
yourself,
level.
because then you're lifting up the high tide, and we're all going up because the tide's going up.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So High Vibe Tribe. Moving on. Number 4. Number 4 is follow your passion.
This is a good
Yes. And we had talked about this. I even did with New Year's. So 2020.
Right.
Awesome. It's just 2020. It's just such a great number, but it's also a whole new decade.
Yeah.
So the beginning of the year, I did meditation about following your passion, and me and Sam in an earlier episode, we talked about following your passion
Right.
and your soul purpose.
Yeah.
So this is part of that, but this can be on a big level, like your big soul purpose, like how you're putting yourself out there completely in the world. But it can also be such subtle ways, just following your passion in terms of just creativity, like cooking might be a passion. Drawing or painting might be a passion. Just finding time to do the little things too.
Yeah.
So what does this mean to you, Trevor, about following your passion?
I mean, I think when you're doing your passion, like you just feel amazing, right? You feel good. Time flies by usually. I think that frequency of passion it's up there, man.
Yeah.
Right.
So like
Yeah.
you just said, like do whatever you're passionate about in your free time. It could be anything. Like cooking. It could be drawing. It could be making videos. Podcasts. There's so many different ways to really express yourself. Just be creative and express yourself in different ways. And yeah, I think it's frustrating at first because I think some people don't really know their passion
Right.
off the bat.
Yeah.
So I would say just like take the steps to get there like slowly.
What
Like
would those steps be? For someone
I would say
who knows they have something to say, but
Yeah.
have no idea what to do, or even how to engage in it. Maybe they weren't supported with that kind of thing, with their parents growing up. Many people come from broken homes where that attention just wasn't there. What are some ways that we can do that later in life, knowing nothing about passion?
So what was the question?
What are some ways that people can actually apply to themselves to discover what their passions might
Okay. Yeah, I mean, at least I know for me, I read a lot of books early on. I still love to read, but just like reading books, watching YouTube videos. There's a lot of good content out there that's
There is.
It's great
that's
content.
it's not mainstream, but it's still it's still very powerful. So yeah, books, YouTube videos. There's a lot of like podcasts out there. That's helped me the most.
Yeah.
I would say is those three things.
Yeah.
And like you said, with just like coaches and stuff, I watch a lot of videos on YouTube, like from coaches. Some people that I watch a lot, like Victor Odo is great, Aaron Dowdy, just people that really will help you to like find your own strengths, your own gift. I think is what it's all about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we all have a gift, we all have a purpose here. I think so. It's a
Yes.
matter of just
We do.
just be patient, and you'll find it eventually. Just keep following your passion
Yeah.
every step of the way.
Yeah.
Agree.
Passion and creativity. And again, I want to stress this again. It can when you're following your passion and your creativity, it can be in small ways and it can be in big ways. It would be awesome if we're all following our passion on the big the big side of things, and it's our career, we're embodying it and all that kind of stuff. But also, some people are fine, like they have a decent job, they're happy at it, things are well for them. It may not be necessarily what they're feeling for their soul calling, but they might volunteer on the side, and that might be where they're fulfilling that. So it can show up however it works for you. Now, like for me, like I kept feeling like I really needed to do something bigger, and that's why I created Awaken. But I'm still making the shift. Awaken is not my full-time job right now. It's something that I'm building, and it's been building for the past like 10 years,
Right.
So but it's start somewhere, baby steps. A lot of people want to write books, just start writing it. It's easy to self-publish. You don't have to become a world-famous author just to put something in writing and get it out there. If you even publish it yourself or just put something, even just blogs, stuff like that, even just helping a handful of people, you just change the world. You just change some lives,
Right.
So show up how you need to. And again, me and Sam had a whole episode around this. It was 2 episodes ago. It's online.
Yeah.
It's on the Awaken YouTube channel. We talk about soul purpose, and there's also the meditation on there for you. The meditation's meant to help you align yourself with your soul purpose if you don't know what it is, or to just kind of reinforce it. So
I wanna tie this in with the last one, the High Vibe Tribe. I feel like as you follow your passion, I feel like you kind of meet that tribe, right?
Oh, yeah.
I definitely
So it's kind of like
Oh, yeah.
as you face those fears, you kind of learn new skills. As you follow that passion, you kind of end up meeting those people anyway. So it's kind of like a win-win.
Yes.
I know for me, like
Yeah.
making videos and stuff at first, it was scary. It was real scary.
It
I
was.
had a lot of takes where I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, that.
This is live. We can't control live.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
real.
but like as you just follow your passion, you're gonna meet those people. So it's kind of a win-win. I think
Awesome.
they're very connected.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I agree.
So that was number 4, follow your passion. And finally, number 5, let it go.
Let go.
Yeah, let go.
Let go. Sorry.
Let go of what?
Let go.
Let go of what?
Let
The balloon?
go. All of it, man.
All of it.
All
Yeah.
of it. Yeah.
I
Well,
agree.
so go ahead. This one came from you, and I
Yeah.
was like, that's perfect. Just let
I feel
go.
like this is like the biggest thing. I feel
Yeah.
like because, like I feel like naturally we are high vibe beings. Like naturally, I think what holds us down is like
Oh, yeah.
like the bad diet holds us down. All the limiting beliefs, all the stories in our head that we're playing out. All of the maybe past experiences where things didn't go your way. That's kind of
Right.
what holds us down, right? I think
Yeah.
as you let go, you naturally just rise up like a balloon or like like a
Nice.
like whatever. What's that thing in water? It rises like a balloon in water. I don't know. Like what I'm
I
saying.
don't know.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's
But yeah,
the biggest
you
thing.
let go and you rise up. But yeah, this just happened to be last, and it's perfect because, and good question, like let go of what?
Right.
Everything that we have talked about, right? So when you're talking about creating a spiritual practice, we didn't really focus on the flip side, like the negative, right? Starting spiritual practices, what you want to do is let go of old practices, old habits that drag you down, that bring you down, that keep you stuck where you used to be. So in making these changes and embracing a new spiritual life and a way of living, it's bringing on new ways of doing things and new thoughts. But it's the cup, the cup overfloweth,
Right.
well, not that way. But if the cup's full, it's like the monk. If the cup's full, there's no room to
Right.
put the new stuff in. You want to empty your cup out, mostly, not all of it.
Right.
I lost you with the cup, I think, a little bit.
Mom had a great saying. It was, "Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater."
Ah!
And it's a really good one because, yes, you want to let go. You want to purge. There's stuff that we take on that doesn't fit for us at all. And then, of course, there's that crucial element stuff that does fit that we do need. And it's experimental. It's trial and error. We're not going to get it first try off the bat. That's
Right.
ridiculous expectation, right?
Yeah.
So expectations are something I've had to let go of that get me in a mind frame, in a mindset where I can be receptive to the new information that's all around me. It's a big piece. Information gaps. We only have so much information to work with, and then we cleverly fill in all the gaps, and we do it incorrectly. We pull from our experiences, and so we can learn to cultivate open-mindedness. Is one thing I've had to do. And in doing that, I let go of a lot of the judgments or the thoughts I have that just become automatic filler for
Yeah.
my life. And that creates space.
Yeah, yeah. But to clarify for Trevor, the cup, if your cup is full with old beliefs and habits,
Okay.
you know, it only holds so much. Where are you going to put the new ones? You
I
know?
see. Yeah, yeah.
You don't want to just pile all your new stuff on top of your old stuff. You need to let go.
You gotta dump it
completely
out.
release.
You have to
yeah.
dump it out. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you got to get rid
I
of
see
the
that.
old
Why
stuff.
not get a bigger
that-
cup? Is that not possible?
You could,
Okay.
but why dump all your old
That's right.
bad habits into your bigger cup just to mix it with your new habits?
Great point. I love
Now
it.
it's definitely not that easy though,
Right,
right?
no, I know.
Because I mean, some of our beliefs, some of our beliefs
skip
are
the visualization.
yeah, some of our beliefs, man, are really deeply ingrained. It takes a lot of time. I'm still working
Yeah.
on my own stuff.
Does
Like it
take
takes a lot of time, a lot of work to to really change
Yeah.
your mindset and stuff. But
Yeah, and that's another big thing is because don't give up. Baby steps and don't give up is my my biggest point I can make here because
Yeah.
because you're completely shifting everything about your life, and if you try to do it all at once, you may not be able to do it. Like it might be overwhelming for you, and for some people you can. Some people do just completely shift, and it's just like this is it. Like this is my new way of living.
Right.
For most people, it's going to be baby steps, and we. So for me, I got on my shift in my spiritual life when I turned 30. So I had 30 years of old conditioning, old beliefs, old ways of living, and there's we also live in the world that exists right now, right? So there's still a lot of beliefs that are still out there that the majority of the world is holding on to, the majority of the consciousness is
collective,
holding
yeah.
on to, yeah.
Yep.
So we're making a choice to say, hey, that old way no longer serves me, doesn't work for me, and I don't think it's working for the world either. So I'm moving over here.
Yeah.
with these guys, and we're going to be firm in how we want to live our lives and with the world we want to see. And it's holding on to that. And you're going to slip. You're going to slip back. Just like anyone on a diet. Wants that cookie and they go for it anyway, and it's fine. Like you don't want to punish yourself over it. It's a process.
trust the process. yes.
Trust the
There you go.
process.
Trust
It
the
is a
process.
process, and it takes however long it takes, and it's okay however long it takes. So
It's a marathon, not a sprint. That's a
Yeah.
very, very
Yeah.
apt saying.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So letting go, like you're letting go of your old behaviors and beliefs. Your diet, right? We're talking about diet. You're letting go of the old things that you used to eat, and it's tough because not only are we mentally addicted to them, but because we've eaten them for so long, our body gets physically addicted to things. Breaking the sugar habit, breaking the meat habit. I finally went mostly vegetarian. This is a perfect example because I'm mostly vegetarian. I'll still eat a little bit of meat here and there. I'm not going to punish myself. I don't have to be that black and white about it. Like I will never touch another piece of meat.
You're not gonna feel bad if you have meat. You're just
Right.
gonna say, "Oh, I'll have some here." Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Little leftover chicken tender, delicious. Like I might have like a bite or two of a burger, and that's enough. Like that's all I need. I know if I ate that whole burger
You're not gonna finish
like
the
all
burger?
night, I'd just be like,
Oh, come on! You gotta finish the burger.
No.
oh, come on.
No, you can finish the burger,
I'll
but
take
for
it.
me, just a bite or two, I'm satisfied.
Grass-fed beef. I'll take it.
Grass-fed beef. So
High fat.
yeah, so letting go of old eating habits and bringing in new ones. High vibe tribe, same thing. Letting go, you might have to let go of some old friends and old relationships, and it's about what's going to work for you now, and
It could also be just stepping out of a comfort zone.
yes, yeah, and it could just be maybe letting go, and again, letting go is also on any level, right? We're not trying to hold anything to any exact rules. So when it comes to the tribe and the people you're hanging around with, it might just be spending a little less time with certain people and spending more time with other people, but not necessarily cutting them completely out of your life. you
Yeah,
know?
just be aware. Like if you're with people that you're not necessarily resonating with, just be aware of that and just make do with how it is. I mean,
Right.
like for example, like if you're at work and your coworkers are not so great, just make do. I mean, just be aware and just do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Like you can't avoid them completely if they're your coworkers, right?
Right.
So
Right, and don't judge everything just on certain situations. Like at work, you're changing, so your coworkers might change. You might be the reason your coworkers change.
Yeah.
You know, but
Right.
if you know, like someone at work's having a particularly bad day and being very negative, then you know, just step away from that. You know, but it doesn't mean you have to never talk to them again.
Get
you
all
know?
meshed with their stuff. You can step
Yeah.
back and say, there's a healthy boundary between your emotional space and my experience. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna. I can witness. Observe is a great word you brought up
Yeah.
earlier. When we allow ourselves to observe the life around us, we don't immediately get caught up into it. So letting go from the attachment we have
Yes.
to the immediate environment around us, for me, it has been very, very soothing, and it's something that helps me get into meditation. It's also a benefit from meditation, that kind of learned detachment, that learned quiet space that I own, that I can create within myself, regardless of what's happening around me.
Yeah.
I love all that he just said. The detachment, boundaries, and the comfort zone, leaving the comfort zone. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
we can go on forever about this stuff. But that's it's all true, man. It's all
Yeah, but you
it's all
nailed it,
true.
Sam. Attachment's the perfect word.
Mhm.
Like we talk about letting go, it's about attachments and detaching. And you know, attachment leads to suffering. You know, that's the one of the Buddhist ways, right?
Yeah.
It's our attachment to people, things, ideas, all that kind of stuff.
Outcomes, yeah.
That outcomes.
And a lot of it's external. It's all external stuff.
yeah?
You know, it's social media or it's
yeah.
material stuff and
Let go of expectations and let go of attachments.
Yeah.
Those are huge.
Yeah.
Those are huge.
They
for
call
sure.
stress in my life. I want to
Yeah.
get home right now. Time in the car. I get bored when I'm just sitting there in like long lines of traffic. We probably all
That's
do,
the
right?
worst.
Yeah.
And so I've gotten to see myself over the years be the whole spectrum of upset to patient and happy and content, and learning tools, learning fun games to play. There's so many ways to learn how to get through life without generating all that angst
Yeah.
that I have. That's benefited me greatly.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's almost noon. I wanna wrap things up a little bit. But we hit our top 5.
We did.
There were a couple extra little bonuses we wanted to add in, and one we touched on. Oh, you were talking about reading. Like books were huge, even for me too. When I got onto my new spiritual life here, the books that I was reading were such a huge part of my shift, and even like YouTube, watching YouTube videos.
Right.
So we didn't really specifically talk about feeding your mind, but that's kind of what that is. Is raising your thought, raising your level of awareness, and a lot of that is done through the other things that we're talking. Like as you change all these things, as you change all of it changes. As you change your eating, you feel better. As you change the people you hang around with, you feel better. You're raising your vibration with each of these steps, and it affects everything else around you.
As above, so below.
Yes.
There you go.
Right.
But feeding your mind, reading spiritual books, inspirational books, that kind of stuff, or watching that kind of stuff on YouTube, that's all part of that, feeding that mindset and helping you change that mindset and making that shift, because that's what it all comes down to is you have to know and believe and want that you want to change your life, that this feels right to you, and take the steps to make these changes.
What's your favorite book, Greg? Just one.
That's a tough one. Well, one of my
tough to
favorites.
say one.
Right, that's right. What started it for me that I still love is the Conversations with God.
I'm reading that right now.
And the
That's
whole
funny.
series is awesome, but the
That's funny.
first one was definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Original
Good one,
Conversation with God by Neil Donald Walsh. Love that.
That's a
guy.
good one,
Love that
yeah.
guy.
What about you, Sam?
It's a fantasy series by Robert Jordan. It's called The Wheel of Time. It's 14 books long.
Whoa,
wow.
It's an epic. Each book is anywhere from 600 to 800 pages long. It
That's
is
a
some of the
commitment.
best
Awesome.
written fantasy ever. It's
Wow.
on the level of Tolkien. You can't compare the two
Right.
directly. And of course, they use all the right tropes, right? The hero tropes, the villain tropes, the good versus evil,
wild.
the human free will choice. It's all in there, and it was the books I grew up with from like '90 until I think the last book was finally written 5-6 years ago. I read it,
Wow.
so it's been there with my whole life. The stories, the characters are just so well done. It's got my heart and mind. It's a beautiful, well done thing. I respect it greatly.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
You need a wheel of time to get through.
That's great. Yeah.
So feeding your mindset. Trevor, there were some other tips that you wanted to add in, right?
Yeah, well, I said music. Music
Yes.
is a good one.
Yes.
Music's a great one.
And obviously everyone has their own flavor to that as well.
Yes.
But
Music has a vibration.
yeah, it's
Absolutely.
very powerful.
It does.
Help you get in the right mindset for whatever it is you're doing. If giving a speech or you're going to the gym or whatever it is, I think
Yeah.
music can help you get in that good state of being
The
for
Rocky
that.
theme song is a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah, get
Yeah.
pumped up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
and it works. I feel like this works two ways, because there's music specific to you that really gets you going, that you resonate with, that's good, you know, puts and you know that music, you know, certain songs put you just pump you up or put you in a calm state or whatever, but there's certain music that resonates with you. For me, part of my shift and me changing my vibration was also I started listening to different music. I started paying much more attention to the lyrics.
Oh yeah.
And started leaning towards music that had positive, inspiring lyrics to it. You know, I have a little mix on my computer, my phone. It's called the Better Days mix, and it's all positive stuff and more like I started listening to this stuff like more about like love and not necessarily like romantic love songs, but just like one love kind of stuff. You know, good stuff. So yeah, music, big thing.
Yeah.
You know what resonates with you. What else? Anything else?
Sleep. I'd say
Yes.
sleep. Sleep is something I've had a spectrum of experience with during very stressful times. I averaged for about 7 years. I averaged 3 hours of sleep per night, and it was not enough. And making that shift, it when I made a conscious choice to end a very toxic relationship, it took me 8 months to get to where I finally had a full 8 hours sleep. And the benefits of sleep to me are so obvious and so wise. Get the sleep that you need. Everyone needs different kinds of sleep at different times in their lives and can manage schedules differently. But sleep is very important. Even just find times for naps. I started napping about 10 years ago. And just a 20-minute nap was amazing. I would wake up from that so recharged, and I would be more productive, more stamina, and I wasn't as wiped at the end of my day. So if you can find a 20-minute cat nap space, go for it.
Yeah, it's a funny thing because we teach our kids and train them to take naps during the day, and then as an adult, the idea of stopping your work day to take a nap, like what's wrong with you?
How dare you? Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
That's crazy. One of my old jobs, the owner of the company, because he had his nice office and he had his couch in there, and he like every now and then, and him and I think my boss, like every now and then, and they'd tell you, they'd be like, "I'm gonna take a little nap. Don't disturb me for the next 20 minutes."
Yeah.
Like, all right,
Yeah.
That's cool.
One of the most key things I think I've learned around that is that proper relationship to work. Work needs us. We don't need work. We need the money, of course, but work benefits from us being good. It's kind of the oxygen mask thing. So I told a young man this on a job site I was on, and I saw him almost tripping over himself trying to get things done. I'm like, dude, come here. Relax, take some time, get what you're going to do straight in your head first. The work needs you. You don't need the work. And that clicked for him in a really significant way. And I saw him approach all of his tasks then from a completely different mindset. And a couple months later, he was a much more effective and efficient worker. He did this works. He took the steps, but that one little moment of shifting was good for him, and it's helped me too.
yeah,
So get to sleep.
Yeah.
awesome. So just to reiterate real quick, our top 5 ways to raise your vibe. You got creating spiritual practice, diet and exercise, high vibe tribe, follow your passion, and let go. Let go.
Those are good ones.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah.
So thanks for joining us, Trevor. Thanks for having
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it, man. This is fun.
It's a pleasure having you on.
Any
Thank
closing
you.
thoughts that you'd like to leave us with?
I mean, we could go on. I was thinking about nature. Nature's a big one too.
Yeah.
Go to nature, guys. Really.
Nature,
I mean,
nature is huge.
yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, and that helps. It's it helps on every level because you're feeling it. You're feeling the nature, and you're seeing it. Like it's hitting you on every level. Being out in nature. Yeah. Be in nature.
Stuff.
Yeah. And let me just add in. So, I mean, we just picked what we thought were 5 important ones. We could have easily made this a list of top 10,
20,
and 20 and whatever.
Yeah.
There's so many. We can talk all day about it, but we had to make a choice, a hard choice of focusing on 5 with a couple of extras. But yeah, nature. And any others before we leave?
I was thinking like self-love. We kind of covered this before, like self-love. Just I recently I did this like saltwater float therapy.
Yes,
a few weeks ago.
Cool.
Yeah,
Dude, that was amazing, man. I felt so good after that. So I might do that like once a month now. Stuff like that. Just take the time to take care of yourself.
Perfect. So floats are a big thing. Look them up if you don't know. Salt caves are popular now, and just a massage. It just take care of yourself. The nap. These are all examples of ways to take care of yourself, love your body. And then mentally too, it's part of that mind shift is just being more gentle with how you treat yourself, the thoughts that you have towards yourself.
Yeah.
You know, forgive yourself, realize that this is all a process, it all takes time. We are exactly where we need to be, and if we were meant to be somewhere else right now, we would be there.
Right.
You know, it's a journey, it's
Yeah.
a process.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. So, thank you for joining us. Greg Campese with Awaken Center for Human Evolution, awakenche.org. You can see all the events that are happening at the center. We also have, it's also a community calendar and a directory, so you can see what else is going on and who else is in the area. And we're here for you. Sam Haynes, co-host.
Check out wendyrose.com. Wendy and I offer many services, classes, workshops, and coaching, and wonderful, wonderful sessions in both IET and Peace Rose Healing. And Trevor.
And our
plug
guest,
for
Trevor.
yourself.
Yeah, I guess just Instagram at Trevor Yaglinski. You can follow me there. It's Yaglinski. Trevor Yaglinski.
Yeah, so you might want to spell that one.
Yeah. But yeah.
Cool little,
Yeah,
little memo on
and True Living.
Yeah, True Living's, but yeah, who I work for. So yeah, a lot of big things happening with that. So
Is that trueliving.team? Is that how they find
True
you?
Living, yeah. I mean, we don't really have much online. We don't really have much. You know, we have a Facebook group, so you can join that. But yeah, just definitely follow me on Instagram. I would say if you want to connect with me. So
We'll have links in the video descriptions below as well. Once
Yeah.
this gets up on YouTube.
Yeah. All right. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks so much.
And thanks
See
for
you guys.
joining us.
Peace.
And
Thanks.
we'll see you in 2 weeks. We don't have our guest lined up yet, but we will
We
shortly.
will by then.
Yeah.
It
All
might
right.
be you.
Later, guys.
So-
It might be you.